Hello, I'm Abhishek Chauhan and welcome back to another edition of Video Review for Tyres in India, brought to you by CheetMata.com at Tyre Times. Today we are going to review a product of a company which has a long history in Indian tyre industry. Yes, the company which we're talking about is CEAT, and the product in question is CEAT's ZAR. CEAT ZAR is company's latest offering in SUV tyre segment. It comes in three patterns. One is HT, which means highway terrain, AT, which means all-terrain, and Sports, which is meant to satisfy speed enthusiasts. So, the pattern which we'll be reviewing today is CEAT ZAR HT, that is highway terrain. Demand for SUV across India is growing, and so is the demand for SUV tyres. Market currently is flooded with various options, including some infrequent imports from overseas too. With this sort of tyres available in the market, the consumers are confused. They are left with no choice. They cannot make an informed choice, and the only choice they are left with is to heed to the dealer's advice, which is far from being impartial and sensible. It is no secret that Indian roads are different from their foreign counterparts, and it is always a challenge to design, engineer a tyre which is meant for Indian roads. Well, CEAT ZAR is the latest offering in SUV tyre segment, and in order to test those tyres, we have taken this car and we're going to put this to test. On to Amit now.
You got all that I want. Control me, distract me, pull me in and pull me out. Tell me what's it all about, like chemistry.
Well, here we are again. I believe Abhishek has already given you my introduction, so we're going to skip the pleasantries and get straight down to business. Because as they say, the proof of the pudding is in eating it. So what we're going to do is we're going to eat this pie or this pudding. We're going to take these tyres out for a spin and see whether CEAT ZAR will actually hold me onto the road. So let's not wait any longer and take these tyres out for a drive. I believe that it is time for us now to get into the detail and the fabric for this tyre review. What we have noticed quite recently is that a lot of SUVs are being sold in the city areas. Now what happens there is that these SUVs end up being driven on the city roads. But we have also noticed that a lot of SUV drivers are going for block patterns when they have to buy new tyres for their SUVs. Now block patterns are the tyres that are built to be driven on the rugged roads or rugged terrain. And why are these people buying these tyres then? Well, the simplest answer to that is that because these tyres, they look rough and tough, they look quite rugged, they have this macho look about them, and that complements your SUV, that is for sure. But is that the right choice? We don't think so. If you're a driver driving an SUV in the city or on the highways most of the times, we believe that you should be going for the highway terrain tyres, and that is precisely one of the reasons why we have chosen ZAR HT to do a review. Now, as far as ZAR is concerned, I'm absolutely taken away by its braking prowess. It brakes really good. And before we move on to another thing, listen to this. It's the sound of silence. Apart from the engine noise, you cannot hear the noise that comes from the tyres normally. Now, it is quite impressive how CEAT has done that. But to know that exactly what goes around and what have CEAT done on the tyre, we have to move on and take a look at the tyre itself. So, what are we waiting for? Let's go ahead and take a look at the tyre. Well, that was real fun driving on these tyres. The fact that these tyres do pack a punch makes it that more interesting for us. Now, it's time for us to put a break on this extensive trial of these tyres and go into the details on how actually the CEAT engineers have achieved this feat. And to do that, first of all, we have to look at the star of the show, which is this tyre, CEAT ZAR. Now, if you look at this tyre here, the pattern, this is a commuter's pattern, and it seems like that this tyre has been customized for the people who are driving SUVs on the city roads, on highways. Now, as per us at ChangeMyTire.com, this is a very sensible decision by CEAT to make this pattern, to get the commuter pattern on these tyres. Alright, so now moving on, it's these square shoulders which were giving us an excellent cornering which I mentioned earlier. These square shoulders give us twin advantages. First, it gives us an excellent cornering and also enhanced stability during sharp turns, and also for those off-road drives. Another advantage is that it also takes care of that extra wear around this shoulder area. Now we also notice that this tire has a very heavy rim protector mechanism in place. The profile area is a little projected on the outside. The advantage of that is that even if driven with less air, the bead area still gets protected. Further, it also ensures that the shocks are absorbed nicely and your alloy wheels do not get damaged. Now, here, if you will notice that the tire has got 2D teeth stripes. These are CEAT are calling these the Panther paw pattern. Now, this pattern allows the tire to grip and release, grip and release. Now, the result is a better traction on the roads, and that is exactly what we felt when we were driving. And finally, while I was driving, I had mentioned about the low noise from these tires. Now, here is the secret. You will notice that these blocks on the tread also have cut-through sipes. These are the sipes we're talking about. Now, this adds to the water channeling and also aids in low noise reduction. These sipes reduce the resonance, and the end result is a quieter ride. Now, we like this intelligent feature, and we would like to say that all kudos to CEAT for bringing this tire out in the market for SUVs to be driven in the city. So now that we have already spoken about the tread wear of the tire, we are left with one very important question, and that is, what is it that is required from an SUV tire to be driven on the city roads? Well, we have come up with a few determinants of our own. First of all, the tire should look like a commuting tire. Secondly, it should be comfortable enough. It cannot be as comfortable as a sedan tire, but still we would like it to have some kind of feel of that comfort. Then again, the tire should have good dry and wet traction. The tire should have good cornering abilities since it's going to be an SUV tire. Then the tire should also look macho and tough because the SUV has a persona, has a character to hold, and your tire should complement that. And finally, it's the tread wear. We are Indians. We don't like our tread wear to get off very quickly. But we also understand that all these wishes cannot be met at the same time. But we can definitely hope, can't we? Well, on that note, I'm going to let you go to Abhishek now, who will be giving you the final verdict on CEAT Czar. So this is goodbye from me for now, and hopefully I will see you very soon. Take care.
Welcome back. And now let us get straight to the point after the detailed review by Amit. The scores here are: so overall it scores 4.25 out of 5, which is very good when it comes to our review system. So it gets a very good and thumbs up and recommendation from us to buy. So this is for today. Thank you. Please write to us if you have any queries, and stay tuned for the more reviews. Thank you.